So I'm new to this whole thing. But I wanted to come on here and say I've had a lot of hard times in my life. I've been through things that people see on TV and only read about in the books or watch on movies. And it's life. I am who I am because of the things I went through. And for the first time in my life, these last couple months, I've been able to let go of the hurt of the past. It's not all gone, but I'm able to deal with it without it seeming like my world is gonna end when I have a memory come up. And because of my life experiences and bad situations, bad things that happen, bad choices I made, I have really bad PTSD, but it's getting better. And I can say I'm not the happiest, positivist person by far. But I'm getting there. Over these last couple months, I've actually been able to, for the first time, know what it's like to really be happy. I mean, granted, I have 2 miracle babies. Well, they're not babies anymore, but they'll always be mine. One's 3 and one is 8. The 3-year-old, she's wonderful and fearless and wants to be a hockey player and skated the other week for the first time ever and did amazing and decided on her own accord that she did not need the little helper walker and that she was going to let go without letting me know and skate away on her own and skate to me. And I have been extremely proud of my life, but I have never been so proud of my daughter as I was that day. And my son was there too, and it was his second time ice skating. And he did so amazing. And I am so incredibly thankful for my children. They are my miracles. They are the ones that were fighters. Not saying the other ones that did not make it to this world or outside to the world weren't fighters and weren't amazing in their own way. And they were. Each and every one of them. But my miracle babies, my rainbow babies, they're amazing. And I could not imagine my life without them. And I wouldn't want a different life. Yeah, it would have been great if it was easier and it didn't, and I didn't have to go through all these traumatic events in my life. But without those, I wouldn't be who I am. And there's a lot of people that don't like me. But the people that really get to know me, they end up finding out I'm really not that bad of a person. I'm not. I'm very socially awkward, unfortunately. And I have social anxiety and anxiety all around, and depression, And I have ADHD and a learning disability. But I'm not stupid. And I'm not crazy. And just because I have these differences does not make me any better or definitely not any worse than any of you. And I fight every day. But now, most mornings, I wake up and I take a deep breath. And I am happy. But even if I wake up unhappy because I had a really bad seizure or bad night terrors, nightmares, I wake up and I thank God. I thank God for my children. I thank God for the breath in my lungs. I thank God that He gives me another day to fight. I thank God for my family through the good times and the bad. And it's not just my blood family, my birth family. I'm thankful for my foster family. I'm thankful for my adopted family. I'm thankful for my best friends that are not blood, but they are my family. And the last few days, especially, 2 days, have been horrible. Sunday morning, I woke up happy, thanking God. And then more life hit me, and I let what people said and what they thought of me control my feelings and my thoughts and control how I felt about my self-worth. And people say things that they don't mean. I am so guilty of that. Speaking without thinking, impulsive arguing, impulsive talk. We all do it. We're all guilty. But I know that I and we should not let all that affect us. I know if the day comes, for whatever reason, if it ever does, and I hope it doesn't, but if there's not one single person that loves me on this earth, which I know is not true, because right now I know I am loved, and I am loved not just by God, but I am loved by friends and family. And I am wanted. And it took me hearing that from people, and a special individual reaching out to me after months of not talking to me. And that person helped me a lot. And my best friend, my family, and her family, my family, refused to let me give up. They refused to let me even consider quitting anything. They refused to let me be alone. And I don't know how I could have been so blind and so jaded and to not see that I am loved on this earth. And I also, again, but today, truly I felt God's love. And God, in His own way, told me that I cannot give up. And I am loved. And if anyone watches this, and watches it till this point and after, know that if I could still be here, and I could still get through everything I've been through, and I'm still here through all the traumatic things in my life, which is a lot, and all the bad, negative crud. A lot of it I brought on myself. But all that, and to conquer evil again and again and again, and I'm still here, that is proof that God has been with me every step of the way. And that everyone that has come into my life, you were meant to be there. You were meant to cross my path, to stay in my life, to be a little sentence in my novel, to be a paragraph, to be a page, to be a chapter, to be part of the whole novels. But you all were meant to be in my life. So, whoever's listening to this, there's hope, always. There's always hope. And don't be afraid to reach out. If someone doesn't want to listen, or they're too busy, or they're dealing with life, because unfortunately sometimes it's really difficult to get away from that for a few minutes sometimes. But remember, at first, if you don't succeed, try again. Try someone else. Try a different way. I'm here because of God and all of you. I'm alive. And I was born because God had a plan for me. And none of God's plans are mistakes. And I'm not a mistake. I was meant to be put onto this earth for a reason. I don't know why yet. I know part of it was to bring in my kids into this world. And give him many more angels. But God has a plan for each and every one of us. And no matter what you've been through, no matter what bad things you've done, God forgives. God loves you. And it doesn't matter if you're like what nationality, what religion, what gender you are, what your sexual preference is, if you're tall, if you're short, if you're skinny, if you're fat, if you're whatever. It does not matter. He loved everyone. He healed the leper. He gave his life for us. God gave his Son for us. He loves us. Now, you don't have to believe what I believe, and that is completely fine. I love you no matter what. And there is always someone that there's always going to be someone that loves you. It's never as dark as it seems, and I know it can seem extremely dark. But find a little something. If you're ever really depressed and you just can't find anything, go outside. If you see snow and it's shiny and sparkly and you're like, then take that. If that made you happy for that one little glimmer of a second, take that and be like, that made me happy. That right there made me thankful. If you can't come up with anything else or find anything else in that day, focus on the snow. Focus on if someone smiles at you. It's not all evil in this world. And we can help each other rise above. I love you guys. I've been on here way too long. God bless you all. Happy holidays, whatever type of holidays you celebrate. Even if you don't. I love you. And there is always hope.